Welcome everyone! In today's video, I would like to show you my top 10 favorite flying mounts. These will include only still obtainable mounts and no PvP mounts, because I feel like it. If you want to see top 10 PvP mounts, let me know in the comments. Oh, and there is no mount of the day, since there will be 10 in the whole video. With that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. On our 10th spot, we have two mounts, the Sky Golem and the Mechanized Lumber Extractor. I picked these ones because they are very similar to each other and they are the OGs of being cool, in my opinion, and they both are pretty useful. You see, while riding either of these mounts, you can gather herbs while mounted, which is pretty cool. You won't have to grind your gathering profession and use your skill points to get to the point of mount gathering, you'll be able to do that from the get-go. So, how do you get these mounts? The Sky Golem is obtainable through Pandaria Engineering or purchased from the auction house. The Mechanized Lumber Extractor is obtainable through an achievement called Remember to Share, which requires you to collect 300 toys. Both of these are useful and cool, and that's why they are number 10. At number 9, we have the Hippogryphs, more specifically, the updated versions of them. So, for the ones that are still obtainable, we have the Cloudwing Hippogryph, Val'sharah Hippogryph, and Layfeather Hippogryph. I've been a fan of Hippogryphs since I saw the Cenarian War Hippogryph, which was also one of the first mounts I farmed. And so, let us first start on how to get the Cloudwing Hippogryph, which you can simply obtain from the Paragon chest of the Court of Farandis Reputation from Legion. The Val'sharah Hippogryph can be purchased from the Legion Time Walking vendor for 5000 Time Ward badges. And the Layfeather Hippogryph, which is my personal favorite one, which I also still don't have, is obtainable by completing the Glory of the Legion Hero achievement. On spot number 8, we have the Maldraxxi Corpseflies. These are, in my opinion, one of the coolest insect mounts in the game. I was thinking about putting the corrupted insectoid mounts, such as the Wicked Swarmer, on this spot, but then I remember these being in the game, and from that point the Swarmers had no chance. There are 4 of these flies, one of which, the Maldraxxian Corpsefly, is obtainable by simply completing the Covenant campaign for Necrolords. The Regal Corpsefly, my favorite, can be bought from the Covenant vendor for 7500 anima. The Battlefield Swarmer can be bought from a vendor in Korthia for 1000 Stygia, while also having completed the On the Offensive achievement. And Lord of the Corpseflies can be obtained from an egg you get from a rare in Korthia, here on the map. On our 7th spot, we have Alunira. This majestic thunderous griffin has a long and grindy way of being obtained. I have made a full video about how to obtain this mount, but in short, you'll have to obtain 10 crackling shards, which have an extremely low drop chance from any mob on the Isle of Dorn. Once you have 10 shards, come buy them and come to this spot. You then use the new item on Alunira, destroy its shield, kill it, and loot the mount. On spot number 6, we have the Dark Moon Dirigible. This unique mount is pretty simple to obtain. All you need to do is get 1000 Dark Moon prize tickets. This may seem like a lot, but since they've been made warbound, you can obtain this mount in 1 to 2 hours. There is an NPC on the Dark Moon Island, here on the map, selling an item called Faded Treasure Map, which costs 100 Dark Moon Dagger Moss. You can either fish up the fish or buy them on the auction house. Once you buy the map, you'll get a quest, which once you complete will award you with 100 Dark Moon prize tickets. And then you can do this over and over again on your alts and also trial characters. The quest isn't long and should take you probably around 15 minutes max. And yeah, that's how you get the Dark Moon Dirigible quickly. On spot number 5, we have the Ny'alotha Allseer. This unusual mount is pretty simple to obtain. Just kill N'Zoth from the Ny'alotha, the Waking City raid on Mythic difficulty, and loot it. The mount has roughly 1% drop chance, or can also drop from the unclaimed black market container at around 0.4% drop chance. In case you don't know how to get to the raid, the entrance rotates each week. One week it's in the present version of Oldham, which you can access at any time without any prerequisites, at least I could. And the next week in the present version of Vale of Eternal Blossoms, which you'll have to complete the Visions of N'Zoth storyline. I will leave a link to it in the description. On spot number 4, we have the new mech suits from the War Within. There are 3 to choose from: the Machine Defense Unit 1-11, the Stonevolt mech suit, and the Crowd Pummeler 2-30. Let's start with the easier one to obtain, and that is the Machine Defense Unit 1-11. This mount has a chance to drop from the big chest when you complete the Awakening the Machine event in the Ringing Deeps, here on the map. The Stonevolt mech suit can drop as a quest item from the last boss of the Stonevolt dungeon on Mythic difficulty, which will then require you to collect 3 different trinkets. And the Crowd Pummeler 2-30 can be either crafted by engineers or purchased from the auction house for an exceptional amount of gold. Then, on spot number 3, we have Gmod. This one is one of the coolest mounts in the game in my opinion, and can be obtained from High Tinker Mechatork in the Battle for Dalaran raid on Normal, Heroic or Mythic difficulty, or from Lady Jaina Proudmoore on LFR difficulty. This one is pretty neat and has a special place in my mount collection. On spot number 2, we have 3 mounts: the Honeyback Harvester, the Honeyback Hive Mother, and the Timely Buzz Bee. These bees are super cute, and since the Honeyback Harvester in BFA, I have been in love with them. Unfortunately, the Honeyback Harvester is alliance only. However, with the other 2 being added, the Horde can also ride their own bees. To get the Honeyback Harvester, it's pretty long and complicated, so I'll leave a link to a guide in the description below. Otherwise, this video would have been 5 minutes longer, which I don't really want it to. The Honeyback Hive Mother is available for both factions and can be obtained by unlocking the achievement I'm on Island Time, which is also one of the achievements for the BFA meta achievement. And to get the Timely Buzz Bee, you'll have to complete the Master of the Turbulent Time Waves 2 achievement, which at this point is unavailable, but fear not. With the Sandy Shalewing being from the Master of the Time Waves 1 achievement being purchasable from any time walking vendor for 5000 badges, I believe Blizzard will do the same with this one. If not, throw me into the maw and let me find souls with Sylvanas. Before we get to number 1, I'd like to show you some honorable mentions that have almost made it to the list. First one is the Felsteel Annihilator, which you get from the last boss of the Hellfire Citadel raid on Mythic difficulty. The second one is the Dazar'alor Windweaver, which you get from the Glory of the Dazar'alor Raider. I just like the third axe mounts. Kufan also almost made it to the list, but I like the armored version more. And so, on the first spot, we have the Mimiron's Head. I don't know if I have mentioned this already, but Mimiron's Head is the first mount I found and I really wanted. It was love at first sight. So, to get this magnificent mount, you'll have to beat Yogg-Saron from Ulduar raid while not being assisted by any of the titans. This means that you don't talk to the titans at any point. There is also an alternative if you don't want to farm Ulduar, but it's just not the same, man. You can also get the Mecha Mogul MK2, which can be crafted by engineers or purchased from the auction house. And those are my top 10 flying mounts. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? What are your top 3 mounts? Let me know in the comments. And speaking of commenting, answer this question of the day. If you had to have a tattoo, what would it be and where would you put it? For me, I would probably choose some kind of animal, either a bear or an octopus, and I would put it on my tricep. As always, thank you so much for watching the video, like it if you liked it, and make sure to save up your flurry strikes and use them on the subscribe button and bell button as well. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later!